the relationship between food and art from my perspective. First, what is the purpose for people who use, combine, decorate, and arrange food with an artistic touch? What does it mean?
Atau dalam bahasa Indonesianya, punya tujuan apa bagi orang-orang yang menggunakan, menggabungkan, menghias, serta menata makanan? Artistic, yes. Something beautiful for sure. Does it only serve to show the glamour of an object? Of course not. I want to put forward and discuss other wisdom that seems more different.
When in contact with the food sector, in a sense, something innate or part of a reflection of the habits we have and represents the identity and culture of each person.
Wait. If you think that food that represents everyone's identity is only in the taste category, the influence of habits, and the influence of the social media and commercial environment from the media that makes our minds set in a such way as discussed here, of course, you are wrong.
What I want to emphasize more is that it is food in the form of a dish which, when influenced by artistic value, comes as evidence that it is this value that makes the background story behind the existence of a dish worth appreciating, whether due to the influence of a memory or experience, the visibility of the circle in the environment itself. Discussing art itself, what does it mean? This idea of defining art that people used to think of.
This doesn't have a specific definition to explain until the guide from Oxford, which states that this is the form of expression or application of creativity that is owned by human.
Usually realized in an imagination in the form of visual, sculptures, or painting.
And what is the purpose? Of course, as a form of appreciation, the results for the emotional strength and beauty. But given the current reach, how are we supposed to define and refit what is there? Well, at least before concluding what is certain is that art is not only a distribution tool for those who experience it, but its creators as well.
What in the end, the best explanation is that it's not channeling, but substitution, the best change over the effective way we communicate for everyone.
The actual thing is that the actual work of art is how the product, the resulting work, connect, acts, has an effect, and others from the experiences that arise. Yes, so it's not just a painting or a sculpture as an outcome, and the characters involved are not human either, or not only human.
There are quotes like this: "Through art, we have the remarkable opportunity to step into the shoes of someone else for a while, to see the world as they see it or want to see it. And in that process, we discover things about our own lives and worlds." From the art assignment, YouTube.
Art also knows no time, even though a work made long ago can still be made modern according to how people recognize and understand according to experience. And according to the definition of one source, art is the highest form of hope.
Even the most iconic quote from the most famous aphorism of all time says this: "Art is long, life is short. Ars longa, vita brevis."
Second, what insight do we want to take? What activities and dedication reflect on? Well, I think firstly, the effort to add value to the attraction to the food from a visual perspective can be present at the wishes of the maker. the way he or she takes inspiration from the environment he or she lives in, making it a series of journeys worth sharing. It's like being created as a talker or narrator. At least that's why I called myself. Second, in terms of the difficulty or complexity of the elements that they want to show, it depends on
how deep the creator explores the series of imagination in the broad dimensions, the way they want to show it. So what we want to know now is the opportunity they take to become a professional.
But that's not what we want to take or highlight it. We judge from the point of view of the present of the idea. And thirdly, I think with the existence of various types of food from all over the world, it shows that the staple material can be created by various types of processing methods based on the culture brought about by the different ways of life in certain people. Currently, this influence is also strengthened by globalization, which makes the reach of food consumption wider. I mean, the scientific term is multicultural. Because of the interest that arises, the pattern of buying and the ability to realize what is thought shows that to channel something now is not limited.
It's the energy that draws some people's attention to the field of interest.
I think in the end, the desire to present food as beautifully as possible in its best form is the simplest, or it comes naturally to the talents of certain people.
Maybe from here, let's take an example from the life of a famous artist, Vincent van Gogh. He has several dishes that represent his entire life journey to career development. Example, potatoes, bread, absinthe, and a decent meal.
This is the process that we explore in a softer and more realistic direction. Like a human being who struggles because he or she or they need food that opens up access to a good and successful life. Here, we get to know more about the window of the real life of a maker of the best painting of all time, which is incredibly beautiful. This food has been served as a subject matter, inspiration, and of course, sustenance for all artists. As an art, on certain occasions, there are also intersections from it, which are quite elaborate and ambitious, which we can explore.
For quotes and insights from this, I took from one of the YouTube videos, namely from the Art Assignment channel.
Disclaimer: this video exists for the interest of a layman. You could say they both learn to analyze a phenomenon that makes her, she, they, he excited to tell it. Okay? So, for the third one, overall, secara keseluruhan, in my opinion, itu bisa dibilang repot gak sih? Will you do that? Nah, karena kita kan ini kan udah membahas nih hubungan secara general supaya bisa jadi proses refleksi juga bagi teman-teman, terutama saya sebagai pembicara. Iya kan? Ide untuk menggabungkan itu menurutku sendiri gimana sih? Ya kan di dunia ini kan ada kata yang namanya eksplorasi, mencari inspirasi, terinspirasi, dan cara orang memaknai itu berbeda-beda. Saya rasa itu bagian dari hukum alam, di mana tidak ada batasan dalam hal tersebut. Bahkan ada yang bilang, sekarang itu semua yang menjadi kelebihan bagi mata orang lain yang tertarik, pasti bisa digunakan sebagai kesempatan emas. Menguntungkan bagi diri sendiri, karena kita yang langsung terjun ke dalam dan menciptakan tren baru.
Even though the dish glow up idea atau yang bidangnya sudah termasuk food plating atau bahkan yang kita bahas sekarang, food art itu sudah ada sejak lama. Ada sebagian yang mengatakan zaman dinasti Cina atau Thailand yang berabad-abad tahun lamanya.
Tapi, saya rasa apa salahnya kita sebagai orang yang pada awalnya terjun karena timbulnya rasa tertarik ingin mencobanya, terutama bagi orang-orang yang sekarang berada di rumah.
Catatan, sudah banyak yang melakukannya. Di internet sendiri, panduan dari buku atau yang mengasah skill dari YouTube sudah ada. Aku ingin mengkaitkan dan memblow up topik yang menarik ini di lingkungan yang sedang kujalani.
Sekali lagi, tujuan video ini adalah sebagai referensi, menjawab beberapa pertanyaan yang terlintas. Semoga semua menikmati. Kita lanjut ke part berikutnya, yaitu apa sih arti dari memberi perhatian lebih terhadap cara kita menyajikan makanan? Nantikan.